when God told Abraham that he was coming back in about a year, and Abraham's wife, Sarah, would have a son. He did not show up the way he showed up the first time, but he turned his attention toward Sarah, and Sarah indeed had a son. But he told Abraham he was coming back. He did, in that he kept his word. He turned his attention toward Sarah, Abraham's wife, and Abraham's wife, Sarah, had a son, like the Lord said she would. In the Bible, Jesus told his disciples, "I am coming again, and every eye will see me." Now, he said that on one hand. On the other hand, he told his disciples, "The world will behold me no more." Okay, so what does this mean? On one hand, he says, "I am coming back." On the other hand, he says, "The world will behold me no more." So we have to do some investigating here to find out what this riddle means. What this riddle means. We have to use line upon line upon line, precept upon precept, precept upon precept, here a little and there a little, to find the answers to this riddle. I am coming again. Just like he told Abraham, the Spirit of God told Abraham, "I am coming again." Well, not the Spirit of God, but I guess it was Jesus who came down. That was never really clarified in the Bible, who came down. But anyways, whether it was an angel, it was a representative of the Most High. Let's just put it like that. A representative who had the Spirit of God in him. So it may very well have been the Son of God, Jesus. Now, he came back again. He kept his word. But he didn't come back in the flesh. But he did come back in the sense that he kept his word. Okay. Jesus told his disciples, "The world in a little while will behold me no more, but you will see me again." Now, what he was talking about was that his disciples would be part of the 144,000 who would go into heaven, who would have received the gift of the higher calling and see him in heaven. The world would behold him no more in the flesh as they did before Jesus went back into heaven. That's what he meant. The world will behold me no more. Okay, so what does it mean when Jesus said, "I am coming again"? Well, just as he or an angel told Abraham, with God's Spirit, "I am coming again. And when I return, I will return to you next year, and Sarah, your wife, will have a son." Well, Jesus said that I am coming again. Okay, and people talk about the second coming of Christ. Okay, now follow me here, and I'll teach you some things. I am coming again. Okay. Just as he came to Abraham, he is coming back in spirit. God does not have to be in this world, or his son, his representative, his spirit in his son, in the flesh, in this world, to get things done. His spirit is already coming back into the world. And people can't even see it. Jesus just has not, his spirit is already here. God's spirit is already here. Okay? It's already here. So, Jesus being God's representative, okay, so we say Jesus is coming back, or God's representative, God's mouthpiece is coming back. His spirit, or God's spirit in Jesus. Since people so readily identify with Jesus because Jesus was the one on earth, we use Jesus as the main figure. But we cannot forget whose spirit was in Jesus. So when Jesus said he's coming again, he's coming back in spirit. Remember, when Jesus went back to heaven, he was given all authority over the earth. So we could say, yeah, Jesus is coming back because he has all authority. So it's proper to say that. And it's even more proper because people identify with Jesus more. Okay. Now, Jesus said, he told his disciples, in a little while the world will behold me no more. And I know this may seem confusing to you, but if you follow me, you'll understand. Now, let's look at the ways Jesus said he was coming back. I am coming with the clouds and with all the angels, and every eye will see me. First of all, everybody can't see. I mean, there are some people who can't see at all. Some people don't even have eyes. Okay? So we have to look at this in a different context. And he's coming with the clouds, and every eye will see him. But he said he's not, the world would behold him no more. He's coming with the clouds of heaven. Clouds, what do clouds do? They obscure one's sight. They're like fog. You know, if you don't look carefully to what's out there, you don't know what's out there. So you have to be careful, and or you might run upon something that you didn't know was there. Okay. Now he said he's coming again with the clouds, and every eye would see him. But you know, every eye, like I said, can't see him because some people have no eyes. Okay. Now we have to look at another thing he said. Don't forget, he said he's coming with the clouds of heaven, which have obstructed people's view of how he's coming back. And it's so symbolic that people can't see it because all they're thinking about is the world. If you try to explain something to them, like a teacher tries to explain something to someone in class, if they're not really interested in it, they're not going to grasp it. It's just going to fly right over their heads. Okay, he said, I am coming like a thief in the night. Now, why does a thief come at night? Because that's usually when the people of the house are asleep. So the thief comes in a sneaky way when the people of the house are asleep. In this sense, in this case, it's the people of the world where they're in the dark and they're asleep. They're asleep. They're asleep to what's going on around them spiritually. And then he said, and we had to put all these things together. As lightning shines from the east to the west, so shall the coming of man be. Now that's fast, isn't it? The east to the west. What does lightning represent anyway? Thunder. A storm. Okay? Now check this out. from the east to the west. If you look at a compass, the north is at the top, the south is at the bottom, the east is on the right, the west is on the left of that compass. Now, follow me and understand this. I am coming like, I'm coming as lightning shines from the east to the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. The Spirit is already in the earth. Jesus just has not been fully lifted up yet, or the Spirit of the Most High the truth has not been fully lifted up yet. Everybody has not seen it because people are not sharing it. Everyone is not sharing it. And it won't be fully lifted up until the time of the 7-year tribulation, when people start really thinking of living differently and listening to the truth and wanting to share it because of all they will go through. Now listen, as lightning shines from the east to the west, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. The east in the Bible represents the people, the children of Israel, the great men of God, the people of Israel who lived in the east, which is on the right of the compass, okay? You have to follow me. On the west is the left side, okay? We're coming from the east, the good men of Israel, of the Bible. All the great men of the Bible came from the east, okay? And they're coming from the east to the west. In this sense, with the clouds of heaven that are obscuring the sight of him coming. He's coming like a thief in the night. You had to put all this together. Okay, like a thief, he's coming in a sneaky way, with the clouds of heaven, in a sneaky way that is hiding how he's coming, actually, with all the holy angels with him. Okay. Now, the men of the Bible, the great men of the Bible, come from the east. That's symbolizing just the children of Israel, or his chosen ones, the Jews who are to bring nations, blessings to the nations. Okay, it's a little late, so you have to stay with me. From the east to the west, from the right to the left, from the sheep to the goats. Sheep are on the right, goats are on the left. Are the goat-like ones, are those in the goat class. Those in the sheep class, the Hebrew Israelite class on the right, the sheep on the left. I mean, the goats on the left. Okay, I am coming like as lightning shines from the east to the west. Lightning, okay. Lightning only comes with the storm, okay. And it's light, okay. Come so fast with the light that it looks like lightning. And only those who are looking for it to come see the light. And they see it coming fast. And the reason why he said he's used lightning is because we are at the doors and people can't even see it. They're eating and drinking and being merry, eating, drinking, and being merry. And the truth is coming like as I'm speaking to you right now. It's coming from the east to the west, from the right to the left, from the sheep to the goats, from the sheep-like class to the goat-like class, from the Jews to the Gentiles, or the Gentile class, those who are in the Gentile class. Do you understand what I'm saying? Coming like a thief in the night with the clouds of heaven. And God does things doing it in a sneaky way. Just like Jesus taught to the people who thought they were so smart in parables. He's like, let them figure this out. And when he got with his disciples, he told them plainly what the parables meant. When I asked God to show me things in the Bible, the mysteries of the Bible, it's like when you have to be careful what you ask for, because it's like you get the gift that keeps on giving. And like I said, I'm a little tired right now, but if you follow me, I'm going to go over it one more quick time. He told his disciples, in a little while, the world will behold me no more, meaning in the flesh. But they would behold him because he would be in heaven and they would be in heaven with him. All right. The angel, or Jesus, told Abraham when he was when he came to see him on earth, before he went to get Lot, he told Abraham, I will come back to you in about a year. I will return to you, and your wife, Sarah, will have a son. He did not come back in the flesh. Abraham never saw him, but he did turn his attention toward Sarah, and she had a son. He did not have to be on the earth in the flesh to get done what he wanted done. His spirit is in the earth now. The truth is being preached now. It's being taught now. Jesus said, go ye therefore and teach all nations. This teaching process is going on now. And there are many people who need to join this teaching process to get the word out. When the 7-year tribulation comes, they need to know. They need to have been informed beforehand that it is coming as a sign to them, so when they do see it, they'll know that this too was predicted to happen. It's been talked about just like the predictions in the Bible were talked about, said that they were going to come. And today's headlines, those predictions that were made 2,000 years ago are today's headlines. These are signs. People are asking for signs. These are signs. I am coming with the clouds, and every eye will see me. See, God is very, very, I mean, he's the ultimate in smart and clever. You know, people think they're so smart. There are people looking in the sky every day. Well, when is he coming? When is he coming? When is he coming? Like I said, every eye cannot see Jesus because everybody doesn't have eyes. Many people are blind on top of that. And how could every eye see him if when he comes back, he'll be on one side of the world? What's he going to do, just hover in space or just go around the world slowly so every eye can see him? No, I don't think so. Okay? I am coming like a thief in the night. Okay, people take that to mean, well, he's going to come, you know. But you know what? If you're coming on clouds, that means you're coming really slow. So how could you be coming like a thief in the night if you're coming on clouds? Somebody's going to spot you. I mean, it's all these satellites in the sky and everything, and they got stuff out in space, thousands of miles away and everything. So how would he just sneak in here without all that stuff seeing him? I am coming with the clouds of heaven, with the obstruction of heaven. I'm going to catch these people off guard like a thief in the night. In the night, what does that tell you? What does night represent? Darkness, right? And what does the thief do in the darkness? He's sneaky. That's when he does his work in the dark, when everybody is asleep. What do you think the world is doing right now? You think everybody's awake spiritually? No, they're asleep. That's how Jesus is coming in, and he's the truth, right? He's the truth. He's the way, the truth, and the life. He's coming in. His truth is being talked about right now. His truth is told to you right now. And how this world got to be the way it is. The truth about Satan, why he got kicked out of heaven. The truth about how Adam and Eve lost paradise. The truth about man lying about discovering America when people were already living here. The truth about them lying in history books saying that Columbus discovered America. The truth about Caucasian people taking books out of the Bible, putting a fictitious image in the Bible of a white or Caucasian Jesus, misleading the entire world. He's the truth about who God's chosen people are, who did not adhere to the commands of the Most High and lost the blessings and got the curses instead, became the tail instead of the head. He's the truth about how all the white supremacist organizations were born, because they think that they are the chosen people. He's the truth that the Caucasian people who did this deceived their own race as well as the rest of the world. They thought they were doing something so smart, but they were not thinking of one thing. They weren't thinking of one thing when they did that. How it would affect the future generations of Caucasian people. The lies. Through those lies, and this is the truth too, many people have been killed. There has been chaos, confusion, racism, hatred, hate crimes, and still today it is going on. Because people in the Caucasian race still believe that they are the chosen ones, that everyone else is beneath them, and they can do anything they want to do in this world and get away with it, pretty much. He is the truth about what I told you, how he was coming back. As I speak, he is coming back. The dream I had, the light dream, showed me a Hebrew Israelite who had the heart, who wants to do something to help the Most High and his cause and to help save people. He showed me in a dream, which I called the light dream, and it's on this page. He showed me the air, that the wind that was there in the dream, even though it was dark, the wind represented him. I hope you listen to that talk video. It explains it a lot better than what I'm explaining it now. All I can tell you, or all I will tell you, is I was dressed in biblical clothes. I could see that from the candle I was holding in my hand. I had the sandals on, the whole get-up. I was dressed in biblical clothes, just like Jesus and the disciples wore back in Jesus' day. And I was walking in this dark, hollow place. It was a huge place. It was just dark. And this wind was blowing perfectly. Not too fast, not too slow. It wasn't hot, it wasn't cold. It was just perfect. It was like something I can't explain. It was there. And I didn't realize fully until later that it was the Holy Spirit, which is also called the wind. There's a song I heard one time, well, a couple of times. The answer is blowing in the wind. I realized that they were talking about the Most High. Um, so yeah, it's just amazing the dreams that I've had. Some which I found myself in the middle of, and I know a lot of you probably don't understand that, but I didn't realize that, I would see things that were happening, and it would remind me of the dreams I had. I'm like, man, I'm right in the middle of this dream I had. And I told somebody this, and he looked at me like I was crazy. And this was a pastor. I told another pastor about the light dream that I had. He thought I was crazy. Oh, he looked at me like, oh, what would God want with you? And this and that. The Bible uses people that people think are of no value or just worthless. So I have some talk videos on my page. One is called And a Little Child Will Lead Them. And it's appropriate. The contents of it are appropriate. So and I'm not doing this for attention. I'm doing it because it's real. It's something that I wanted to always do. I wanted to always help people. When I saw little kids, I don't know where they were, but I was about 12 years old, and I saw these children on TV, these poor families, kids starving to death and all this and that, and it tore me up. I couldn't. I was just confused because my dad had told me and my brothers about this God who was a good God, and that's where all people went. He lived in heaven, and all good people went there when they died. Well, I thought about that, but when I saw these kids on TV starving and everything, I'm like, how could God be so good if all this is going on? So, I had to do a lot of thinking, and it's not God's fault, it's people's fault. So I was like, how could people, especially rich people, let these kids starve to death like this? And it's on TV, so I know they're seeing it. So I asked God, well, give me a way to be able to help these people. And I had started writing poems and then music. I got my idea for writing poems through the poetry or the rhymes I'd hear in songs. So I started writing poems, and then started writing songs and singing and stuff like that. And that's how I wanted to help these poor families. So, but God had something else in mind. So my life took a turn. I guess when he saw what I wanted to do, he saw that I would be a good candidate to help with the harvest. So I went through a lot of things. I saw a lot of things and experienced a lot of things. And I wrote a lot of things down, and I talked about a lot of things. And I think, God knows the future. My dad was a speaker. He was also in a choir. My mom was a teacher. My dad was a substitute teacher. And I can't help but think that all of this was planned. I have a thing from a calendar from an inspirational calendar. It was on the back of it. It says, just think, you're here not by chance, but by God's choosing. His hand formed you and made you the person you are. He compares you to no one else. You are one of a kind. You lack nothing that His grace can't give you. He has allowed you to be here at this time in history to fulfill His special purpose for this generation. Now, that sounds a lot like Moses. It sounds like Samson, that he rose them up for these special purposes. And they weren't perfect people, you know, they were, because Moses had a speech problem. Jonah ran from him. David wasn't perfect. Moses and David killed a man. Each of them killed a man. Paul was not perfect. He was crucifying Christians. So, but I think that they were all born for a specific reason. They just didn't know until certain things happened in their lives that geared them towards what they were actually supposed to do. Because believe you me, I've made plenty of mistakes. Plenty of mistakes. I haven't killed anyone, but you know, in this world, boy, I'll tell you what, the thought has crossed my mind. It just not in my heart to really actually do it. But some people can make you, you could just think, you know, things that you want to do to them. You know, but then I had some enemies, and some things happened to them. I just sit back, I just put it in God's hands. And sure enough, sooner or later, before I knew it, somebody was telling me, man, you know, so-and-so died, got hit by a car, this and that. It never fails. You can have enemies, and boy, if you just put it in God's hands and just wait, you don't even have to wait before you know it. You'll hear about it. Something happened to him. And you're like, wow. I mean, I've been robbed before. The person who did it, he tried to rob somebody else. They killed him. Okay? I got into this huge argument before where I got pushed off the porch, and my hand got broken, and this guy was hitting me in the head with something metal. A few months later, so he got hit by 2 cars. One hit him when he was trying to cross the street, hit him so hard it knocked him into an oncoming car, which ran over him. I mean, I don't know how his head came off, but he was dead instantly from head trauma more than anything. I put it in God's hands. All my enemies, it seems God has gotten rid of in one way or another. All of them. And, you know, I believe God looks at the heart. I know, well, he does, because that's what the Bible says. But the Bible also says that we are the apple of his eye. And that doesn't mean that he won't chastise us. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Please don't believe that. If anybody gets chastised more than anybody else, it's his chosen people. Because we really love him. We're the apple of his eye. And if we had a potential and we're messing up, we're going to get it. Because we know better. So who's going to get chastised more? The one who knows better. We will be held accountable more than anybody. You talking about, man. It's just like Mother Teresa said. I read it in a magazine. And I could identify with her completely when she said, sometimes I wish God didn't trust me so much. Looking at all her potential. Because she's been through it. I could tell when she said that. I knew exactly what she was talking about because I have been through some stuff too. Oh my God. And you talking about the chiseling, the molding process? Be careful what you ask for. Be careful what you ask for. Especially if you ask to help the Most High and his cause. You're gonna, I've seen some evil rear up its ugly head. And I'm like, is this real? It's even on tagged on this site that I'm on. I have seen some ugly acting women on there. Evil. I mean, straight evil. Like they are evil angels or something. Like they just manifested into the flesh and are putting all this evil stuff on tag. You know, two of them have already attacked me on my page. Crazy stuff. I mean, straight evil. Evil. Nothing but. Wasn't no good in it at all. We are talking straight, ooh-wee, undiluted evil. Evil. And I thought to myself, you know, I wanted to call down evil on these people. But then I thought, God said, pray for them. Pray for them. So, and that's one of the hardest things to do when somebody is evil or does you wrong. It's one of the hardest things to do, but it's the best thing to do because I hate evil. I hate evil. I just hate the evil in people. I know, you know, God looks at the heart. He looks at the potential. He knows what they could be like if somebody could just get through to them. So you pray for them. You say, well, God, change their ways. Help them because they need help. I can't see their full potential. From what I'm looking at, I can't see any potential in them to be good at all. But you can. So I'm praying for them. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. I don't want to talk to them because I'd say the wrong thing, and then I'm right there at their level. Okay, anyways, I'm going to finish this because I want to get it on my page. I hope you understand it. This is one of those talks that you'll have to listen to. If you're anything, any way, shape, or form concerned about your salvation and the truth and righteousness and the mysteries of the Bible and stuff like that, sometimes, you know, just like when you're in school, if you're trying to learn something, you have to listen to it twice. You have to listen to the teacher. He'll teach you in different ways how to work the problem. But if you're not paying attention, you're going to end up getting a bad grade if you're goofing off like many people do in this life, and that's why they can't see what's going on. Then you're going to miss out. You're going to end up getting a bad grade, you know, and going through life winging it. This is why 144,000 are going to heaven. These are like the valedictorians of the class, if you understand what I'm saying. The ones who paid attention, who did what they were supposed to do to the best of their abilities. God chose the ones who were best suited for the jobs, for the jobs He had in mind for them when they are co-ruling with Christ. Just like He chooses the ones who are best on the earth to help people on the earth. And that's not saying that we're perfect, because none of the disciples were perfect either. I mean, you know, there are some books in the Bible, the 4 Gospels, that have different accounts. And see, people are so judgmental. Hey, you know, it's just like it's the same thing with down here with people nowadays. You can hear different stories from different people. It can start out one way, and then by the time it gets to from the south end of town to the north end of town, it's been told this way and that way, and twisted, and things added to it, things taken away from it. This is just this life. The Bible says there are none good, no, not one. Did you expect the disciples to all have the same exact story? And how can you judge them anyway? Are you any better? How can you judge me? You could say, well, he's messing up and stuff. He's supposed to be a man of God. He's supposed to be this. He's supposed to be that. I'm not a great speaker. Moses had a speech impediment. So don't judge me unless you can do better yourself. Don't judge me. 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 Don't judge anyone. Don't judge anyone. Don't judge anyone. Don't judge anyone. If I talk about people, it's not judging them. It's telling the truth about them. I'm not talking about them to try to belittle them like I'm better. No, that's judging. The only one who's better than anyone is God. Okay? Jesus even said to the rich young ruler who asked him, "Good master, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" Jesus looked at him and asked him, "Why do you call me good? There's no one good except God in heaven." Then he told the rich young ruler to go and sell all that he had and give it to the poor and to come back and follow him. Jesus wanted to see where this man's heart really was. Was he really wanting salvation? Did his material things mean more to him than his salvation? And that the rich young man went away sorrowful. For this reason, it will be easier for a camel to go through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter into the kingdom of heaven because of material things. God doesn't mind us having things, but if these things are distracting us every day and we're not thinking about our salvation, then these things are hindering us. Now, to prove that the Most High wants us to have things, it's not that he doesn't want us to have things. He does want us to have things. He wants to bless us richly, especially those of us who are following after righteousness. He said, "Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper and be in good health, even as thy soul prospers." So he does want us to open the storehouses of his treasures to us. We're his children. He wants to be good to us. But look at the way we live. Look how greedy we are and how selfish and how we treat our fellow man for money. Money is the root of all evil in the earth. That's why we don't have things. From the east to the west, as lightning shines from the east to the west, from the right to the left, from the sheep to the goats, from the Hebrew Israelites to the Gentiles, in other words. I am coming with the clouds that obstruct, that hide things from one's view, and every eye shall see me. But then he told his disciples, the world will behold me no more, not in the flesh, no. And God said his spirit would fill the earth. The knowledge would fill the earth. The truth would fill the earth. His son will soon be fully lifted up. And he may be lifted up during the 7-year Great Tribulation or right there at the end of it. When people realize that man's way, Satan's way, is not the way. God's way is the only way. The only way. You want to figure out the mysteries of the Bible? Many of you have asked, what does this mean? What does this mean? What does this mean? Blessed are they who do thirst and hunger after righteousness, after the truth, for they shall be filled. They shall see the light. Jesus said, I am the light of the world. See, a candle under a table will not give off light to the house. It has to be put on the table. It has to be, actually, if there's a light on the hill, people can see that light. They'll have some sense of direction of where to go, the direction to go to get to the light. But in order for them to see the light, people have to hold up the light of the truth, the light of righteousness. The world got messed up from lies and selfishness. So that means we got to come to the end of ourselves. And maybe the 7-year tribulation is going to be the thing that breaks us. It brings us to the end of ourselves. Maybe then people will start listening to the truth, be more interested, because it's going to be the worst 7 years that have ever been on this earth, and it will never be again. It's going to be that bad. So bad that God said, and I keep bringing this to people's attention in my talk videos. God said, if I did not step in and shorten those days, no flesh would survive. Nobody. Mankind would be extinct, totally annihilated. That's how bad it is going to be. And I believe it's going to start with a nuclear war because of nuclear wars. It's going to be pretty bad down here. Like that song says, you ain't seen nothing yet. You ain't seen nothing yet. You think the past problems in this world were something? You ain't seen nothing yet. 7 long years. Tribulation. Put that together with 7 long years. Great tribulation. And for the Bible to say great tribulation, it's going to be great. The world has known tribulations before. But the Bible says this is going to be a great tribulation. Boy, it's going to be bad down here when it happens. You think all these things that are going on now, the murders and the rapes and the robberies and the killings and the suicides and carjackings and beatings and it is going to diseases and hunger, homelessness, dead people all over the place. It's going to be bad. Home invasions, it's going to be bad. Race riots, it's going to be bad. So all I can tell you people, God said he would provide for those who are his people, are in his class, considered to be his people by their actions, by the way they live. But for those of you who are not, the only thing I can tell you, because God doesn't want to see any of you perish, you better get well prepared for it. Because, boy, there are going to be people after everything you have, and they will kill you for it. You think they're doing that now? Wait till that happens. Wait till the 7-year great tribulation comes. People are going to be crazier than they ever were before. There's going to be so many people committing suicide, so many dead bodies everywhere. And in fact, the Bible said, God said to the people, you will eat your own sons and daughters. Line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little and there a little. Now look at all this. Better get prepared. Best way to get prepared, though, is to transform over to living right. Because the great tribulation is definitely coming. It is actually at the doors. So, this noise in the background, killing roaches, I'm not going to lie. Why lie? I don't have a lot of roaches, but every once in a while I want to pop up and stir at me and be like, where's the food at or whatever. And I have to let him know that he's not paying rent here, so I have to swat him. Anyways, I'm going to get out here. I just wanted to clear that up about how Jesus, the Spirit, is coming back in God's people. And, how do you think, I want to just ask this one question before I get off here, before I end this talk. How do you think the world is going to change? Do you think Jesus is just going to come back down here, or God's going to come back down here, going to come down here and say, poof, things be different? God didn't mess this up. People did. So it's going to be up to us. We had the spirit of selfishness. Now we have to have the spirit of truth. Okay? We have to have the spirit of truth. And that spirit of truth has to catch on. People had to be baptized with the fire, with the angry, be angry enough to change this world. That's why I said the fire's in there. The fire was in his eyes in Revelation. In in John's vision, the fire in his eyes, and the sharp two-edged sword came out of his mouth. Sword of the truth that divides and conquers. The fire in his eyes, meaning the people who are mad about and during the 7-year tribulation, people are really going to be mad. Oh no, we ain't doing this no more. This is not happening anymore. You people have messed this world up. No, it's time for somebody else to take over. We got next. All this ignorant stuff has got to stop. That's what led to all this stuff happening right here. Because who's ruling this world right now? Satan. And who's ruling it under Satan? The white man, who acts just like Satan. All his characteristics, lying, all these murders and stuff. Satan was the father of lies. He was a murderer from the beginning. You're going to blame stuff on Obama, who came in trying to straighten up the white man's mess. That's how dirty you are. You're going to do all this dirt and then blame it on, call black people niggers and Native American savages. Boy, that ain't calling the pot calling the kettle black. No. And then this tyrant gets in office, and these teenagers, white teenagers, going around talking about white power, yay, white power. Same idiots who probably got the mentality, I hate to call people idiots, I'll just say probably, same kind of idiotic mannerisms that these other white kids had shooting up schools and stuff. White power. Yeah. Shooting up churches and all this and that. Shooting through concerts because y'all can't get y'all's way. Cussing out your parents because you can't get your way. Good God. It's the truth. Truth hurts. And people don't like it, can't accept it, don't believe it, or whatever hell. It's the truth. Oh, and somebody said on my page, they sent me a message, Jesus ain't white. Oh, see how we need to get the word out? Because we got some ignorant people in this world. Ignorant. Don't even know what the hell they're talking about. Jesus ain't white. Boy, you talking about, see, we need some workers out here to teach some people some stuff. Because people who got that mentality, and she was white, people who have that mentality is why this world is spiraling down to total damn destruction right now. Because they're ignorant. They don't know what they're talking about. They've been brainwashed to believe that their race is superior. The truth needs to be spread. It needs to come out full. It needs to be fully lifted up. Because as long as we have people like that in this world is going to remain messed up. Ignorance has got to go. Knowledge needs to come into play. Because we're headed for Man, you people can't see it now. You will. You will. When the 7-year tribulation comes, boy, you might not see it. You might not remember it right off the bat. But you will remember. Somebody was telling you how messed up it's going to be. And then you'll realize, man, we need to do something about this. And you can't be sitting around waiting on some leader and all this and that. Because if that leader says anything that sparks something in you, then that means you got the same thing in you that leader's got in him. So why can't you be a leader? You know? Good grief. Anyways, I'm going to stop this and post this. Yeah. The Spirit of God is coming back. It's actually already here. And it's working on people, you know, and it may not be all Hollywoody, the people he's working with to bring the message to you. But it is there. And, you know, it could be this way because God wants to see if you are interested enough that you will listen to the post, a talk again, to see what it actually means, you know, because he's looking for such people. He's looking at the heart. Well, this person is really interested in doing this. He's listening to this post again, or she's listening to it again, to see what it really means. He's trying to get the gist of everything what this guy is talking about. So maybe that's why it's like these are like they are the way they are. And sometimes I may say something that may be a little off or whatever, or my words I get ahead of myself or whatever. But please don't judge me. If you can do better, you do better. But judging me just shows that you think you're better. And you're trying to belittle me, like, that's what Satan would do. If I make a mistake and you know I made one and I might have overlooked it, then let me know. That would be the brotherly thing to do. Instead of ridicule and gossip and try to bring me down, say I don't know what I'm talking about. If you're better, then let's see you do something. Let's see you put some posts out there. You know? Let's see you do something. At least I'm trying. So please don't judge me, because if you judge me, God will judge you. Guaranteed. That's the end of this talk. I hope you understood it. If you don't, listen to it again. And I invite you to listen to all the talk videos on my page. I'm putting them there for your to enlighten you, to advise you, to warn you, to encourage you, to bring the truth to you, as it's been shown to me. So I'm ending this post. I'm working with 2 computers here, and I'm trying to find the right mouse to turn this talk off. All right.